The repairs that you can make to an existing farm building to help extend the life, one key repair would be maintaining the roof. You want to make sure that there's not loose screws or nails. Back in years gone by, they used to use nails to fasten the metal roofing on, and almost every building now that's been nailed on, those nails are coming out. And all those little holes, you're getting water in there, and that leads to way more problems with rot of the trusses, the strapping. Any other interior features are going to get water damage that they shouldn't have. So that's the number one repair, would be to replace those nails with screws, and if it is a screwed down roof and it's getting older, to check the screw. Metal roofing screws use a neoprene washer, which basically has a unlimited lifetime. It'll never degrade. Now, about 20 years ago, they switched from rubber to neoprene, and the rubber ones would degrade in about 10 years, which is why they made the switch. Or the screws themselves will back off just from years of freeze thaw, snow loads, the vibrations of the building when in a windstorm or anything like that. Number two, if it has gone for a while without being checked and there's been leaks and there's been rot and problems like that, you're going to want to take a look at the structural integrity of the building. Make sure if it has been leaking, you know, if there's anything rotten, say you pull that roof metal off and some of the trusses are rotten, you'll want to patch and repair that. And another thing to look at, if you notice your roof line at all looking like it's going up and down like a wave a little bit, you could have problems with the foundation. So that's something to keep an eye on. You might see that on more of an open pole building where they didn't do a proper foundation or didn't go deep enough and the frost has been affecting it, or it's in too soft a ground where one post might sag and it'll bring the roof line down in that area. So that's the other thing to look for. Another one, and you'll see it a lot as you're driving around the countryside, is the open hay sheds. They start to lean, and if you look for it, you'll see it everywhere. All the older buildings are starting to get a bit of a lean on them just from the prevailing winds and possibly, you know, being bumped by equipment or hay during the use during its lifetime. So that problem can be amplified as they get older because of the posts rotting off near the ground. A lot of the older buildings weren't even pressure treated, so it lasted, you know, 30, 40 years, but it's starting to get pretty bad at ground level, and all it's going to take is one more big wind and over that building goes. So that is something that can be fixed. We can straighten those leaning buildings, we can put proper foundation under them, or we can just pull the roof off and do brand new poles and beams and still utilize that roof to save a bit of money that way, not having to buy trusses. So we'd recommend scheduling a preventative maintenance inspection usually once every 3 to 5 years. If you've never had a maintenance inspection, we'd recommend scheduling one right now, but every 3 to 5 years. And then any problems that come up from the wind shaking the buildings or the snow loads, the freeze thaw, you're going to catch them before they become a serious problem that really affects the building down the road.